Hello, Chris.
Good morning,
It has been a
afternoon,
long
whatever.
time since we've done one of these World Cup podcasts.
It's been hugely a long time.
Yeah, and
And
in that time, FIFA have managed to go completely mental.
a
But
little bonkers, a little wild.
so, have you got
I
any
can.
tickets yet?
I've applied 73 times different ways and have nothing. I have zero to show for it
Well, the
entirely.
good news is I'm in the exact same boat. I haven't received any yet either. I've applied through American Airlines. I've applied through FIFA. I signed up for the men's national team, trying to get some pre-code. I've
Yep.
signed up with credit cards. I still haven't managed to get a ticket. So, but we've had this kind of situation before at some World Cups where we didn't get any. But the difference this time is they
Yep.
have dynamic pricing this time, which means that every time they go through one of these phases, the prices are going up
Well,
of
they're not. So
tickets.
we're gonna talk about that. They're not.
Well,
So wait,
some
we should.
some games have come down.
So we should tell everybody this will be our fifth World Cup. So this isn't new to us, right? This will be the fifth one. So there's a complaint, and we're jumping ahead. A game up on San Francisco was originally what was like 620 for category 1 tickets.
Well,
The teams were announced and now it's down to the 400s. So the people that bought the tickets earlier are asking for the
but
difference
but
back.
that price is still more than the original list price. The original
Correct.
list prices were $60 was what a
No,
category C ticket was going to be, and FIFA never honored that
they did. It was 8
for
seats.
10
The guy had
people.
a map. Yeah, 10 people. It was a corner of a stadium about this big with 10 seats.
Yeah.
And that was the price they had for those seats. But no, this someone showed they bought the tickets in the early rounds before the teams were announced. It was over $600. And now the same ticket is 400 for the same category. So they're like, do we get the money back? Do we get, how does that going to work? FIFA's like,
So
no.
it is interesting though. FIFA are literally on one big money grab, and the head of FIFA will go, "Oh, we're a non-profit," and that's fair enough. But I can be a non-profit organization as well by just keep buying really fast jets and cars and stuff.
Yes.
But there's been a few things in the
Let's do it.
last few weeks that the FIFA president's getting some looks from some of the FIFA Confederate members saying, "What are you doing?" Obviously, the most obvious one was the Peace Prize, which the FIFA confederations are like, well, how did you pick this? And nobody really knows how they picked who won the Peace Prize.
No.
Um, but it is interesting to see, the suck up in effect. Um, and FIFA is supposed to be apolitical. It's not supposed to have any political allegiances or anything like that. So there are quite a few people in FIFA, I think, that are uncomfortable with the current situation. But to give him credit, he's realized that the way that you can get through with our current administration is you just suck up, and then they'll be like, whatever you want to do, you go ahead. Doesn't matter if it's legal. So, um, FIFA are fully embracing the law. They're basically have a FIFA ticket resale where every ticket they sell, they get 30% commission on that sale, which is a pretty good deal for doing nothing, really. Um,
Hugely nice deal. So they also are controlling the number of seats per category, which wasn't well defined in every map. Oh, everyone should note, we're used to these stadiums having names like AT&T Stadium, SoFi Stadium. According to FIFA rules, no advertisers because they're not making money from it. So they're known as the city name. So there's the Dallas Stadium, the Atlanta Stadium. That's what they're doing the naming
yeah.
of, even though they're not in the area
The one
that the city.
The one good thing is that Ticketmaster aren't involved in the sales of FIFA tickets, which is unusual because a lot of Live Nation Ticketmaster tickets they're contractually obliged for some of those stadiums that they can only sell through Ticketmaster. So these stadiums were not contractually obliged to only sell through Ticketmaster. But having said that, then FIFA are just as evil as Ticketmaster in how
Yeah.
they're handling their ticket sales.
So let's talk about the RTB. I want to talk about the RTB. This
The
is the
biggest
first,
scam of the century.
the
What
first
is
time it's
RTB, Chris? What does it stand for?
right to buy. So
Okay.
you had to pay a fee to be able to be guaranteed the right to buy a ticket, not in a certain class,
And
but
those
to buy.
prices started at over $500.
No, there was some for 295 for low end cities.
Really?
There was some 290 early on. I think I still have it in the app. There was some 295s,
I never saw
but
a 295. Like
and
I
it was
know
per
that
seat.
Boston started at
Oh
$1,400.
yeah, Boston was different. We're
And
talking
that price for people that don't know didn't increase it include a ticket to the game.
it did not include a
Nope.
ticket to the game.
It just included the right to buy a ticket to the game. And then when those right to buy tickets came out,
Yep.
people found out that they weren't getting the list price for those tickets. They were getting the dynamic price. So a ticket that they thought they were going to be able to get for $60 to $180 suddenly became $700. So their ticket, including their right to buy, became like 1,220.
Yeah. So, and then it was per seat. So the RTB was per seat. So if you
Right.
wanted four, you had to RTB all
Yeah.
four. And so they've never done that before. That was new.
Yep.
And
And
other countries, we've never had that
no.
type of issue. We were just in a pool. We didn't get tickets for every game, but
Yeah.
we never had to buy a ticket to buy a ticket.
And we're a little different to a lot of fans in that we don't care what games we go to see. We don't care what team. We'll go see shitty teams, good teams. We have no care in the world about that.
We've seen them
And some
all.
of the games we've gone to with the shittiest teams have been the best fans. So,
Yes. Then this year,
it's
though, new would be, and we can talk about teams later, but Curacao is coming.
yep,
I've never
yeah,
seen
yeah, yeah.
them play.
Well, a country with a population of 150,000 people.
They
But
made it.
but this World Cup does have a lot more teams and a lot more games than previous World Cups.
Let's
Uh,
give everybody some structure. We'll start from the beginning, right?
yep,
So the original rounds came out and they announced that you'll be able to, get tickets like before and they'll do a draw. We've been in the draw many times for many countries. Then they said, oh, we're going to do an RTB. And we both talked about it. We said, RTB? Said, right, well, we just talked about the right to buy a ticket. Then they did more draws. The RTB people got in. Then they did another draw and you're entered for the third right now. But during that time, they've also had, like you said, credit cards, airlines, U.S. soccer, who was the other one? The team, the U.S. men's, and then a couple other small ones. If you had certain credit cards, you could get
yeah.
in, or a bank account, you could get in.
And there's a few more of those happening again this month as well. And then in January, I think Bank of America have some if you have a Bank of America credit card. So there's still a few more opportunities where those groups have tickets that they have rights to, but
So
you
what's
have no
missing?
idea what the prices of those tickets are going to be.
What's missing? There's one thing missing.
Thought of fans.
Well, that. So
Oh, well,
exactly.
one thing you did forget to mention is RTB tickets also included like a crypto image,
Yes, but no one cares
a
about that.
JPEG.
No one cares about and the NFTs. No, there was no loyalty to people that have been registered with FIFA and gone to previous cups.
Right.
So you can be loyal to a credit card, loyal
And
to an
they've
airline.
not, but they've never, but that's no different to anyone before. So
Well, no, but I'm saying you would think that
yeah,
you would, if
they
you're a
should know
repeat,
by now that we're special.
not
I
us,
mean,
but a
we're on
lot of
first
people
name
are.
terms with a lot of the staff at these events.
Oh yeah, all of them because they're all volunteers. That's a different topic entirely. I've seen a lot
Working
of
for nothing.
videos. I would like to tell everyone that's volunteering. This could be a good clip for TikTok. Everyone that's volunteering, we have seen the volunteers at all these cups, and you see nothing. You enjoy nothing. If you're on the field, so if you're behind Carl on the field, let's say that's the field, you're facing away from the game the whole game. You're not allowed to look at the game. You have to
Yeah.
look at the stands.
And if you're really unlucky, you're working in the car park.
Yes. Oh, there's a bunch of those outside. So you really, the volunteers, oh, it's a
But
great
you will
thing.
get one of those nice little luminous vests that cost like $2.50.
Ugh, it's horrible.
They
But
have a logo on it, but yeah.
I don't think they understand that you really don't see me do
You
anything.
don't get any tickets to the events. You don't get to the front of a line or anything. No, there's no employee. It's just like, hey, you work this event.
Yeah.
So.
You were there. You helped out and you saw thousands of people
But then
rush
I
it.
know some people that did that for the Olympics and they had a great time working in the parking lot.
Yeah. Well, I
So,
imagine. Remember, we
yeah.
met people at a bunch of the staff that we'd seen and they were out there working and they were like, this is going to be the best ever. And then they found out I saw nothing and I worked like 12-hour days 4 times and I saw absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Got me nowhere. So if you're volunteering, beware. And a bunch of my Kansas City people have been posting about it. I got in. I'm one of the FIFA volunteers. And I just kept going.
And we haven't looked into anything like accommodation yet. Fortunately, we've actually had quite a few people reach out to us and say, hey, I hope you'll come in here and you're going to stay with us.
So to our friends, Houston, Kansas City, East Coast, we've have offers all over
Yeah.
places to stay. But did you see? So example, and that's another big part of it is I saw a guy that pre-booked rooms in all these cities. Once he could cancel a reservation, whatever, knowing even though right now he probably paid a little bit more when he booked it almost a year ago, but the same prices are like triple. So he's ahead of the game.
Yeah.
He has one of the rooms in Kansas City is now 1,000 a night that he got in for like 180 a night or whatever it was, now 1,000 a night. So
But
the rooms
we
are out
never
of
stay in
control.
the city where the game is anyway.
No.
But what's gonna be interesting to see is what they do for parking. Because if you think about all the World Cups we've gone to before,
Oh,
we'd always have to park like 4 miles away from the stadium.
wait, you didn't see this?
Oh, well, I know they've got variable pricing for parking too, right?
But it's not only variable. So people thought it's the more I pay, the closer I park. No, it's parking is per stage. So it starts at like
60
175
bucks.
or 75, and it goes up the higher the game stage, the
Yeah.
more you pay to park. And you still can't get within a mile of any stadium. So everyone
All right, so
understands that.
they're just doing that. So it'd be interesting to see where they do for parking, because I mean, things like Foxborough Stadium, all the parking's right around the stadium. And
It's
if you think
shut
about it,
down.
all the games we've gone to before, they always have no parking at the stadium apart from the teams and the TV people.
Yep. So
And
Casey redid a 24-hour day type bus infrastructure that they're doing. So you'll be able to ride buses everywhere, like we have in Qatar a little
yeah,
bit. You'll be able to go buses everywhere. But some of the other cities aren't ready for that
yeah,
because what was it? A half mile around every stadium was shut down for
it was a
security.
long way.
Yeah, we walked a long way. So a guy made a joke. He said, "Oh, I thought if I paid the $75, I'd park, a 10-minute walk, 15 blocks away or whatever. I paid 175, I'd be at the front door. I'd walk in." And it's variable by stage of game. So they're charging more and more the higher the stages go, more and more for the tickets,
Right.
the higher stages go, and more for the RTBs.
It
So you
is
could
it is a
go,
great business case in how to get it to maximize your money from these events.
I could see.
You
If
know,
you want, it's going to be
but
like,
how to piss off fans. I mean,
so
people in I've been reading some articles in the papers in England and Britain about
yeah,
Scottish fans, and they're suddenly going, oh my god, if Scotland were to get to the final, it's going to cost me over $7,000 to see each of their games before getting to the final.
correct. Correct.
So
And it's going to get even worse because the transportation here, if you're doing, what do they call it? Follow the team.
yeah,
So for your ticket holders, you can do it three ways, right? You can do what Carl and I do, which is random. You can go see who you want to see randomly, let FIFA kind of pick, or you bid on some games, which was weird. We got to pick certain games in the draw
yeah,
this time. We'll talk about that in a minute. You can do unlimited at a stadium through the group stages. So one flat rate, see every game at that stadium. That's great if you live in a local host city.
and you can
Then
actually
there's,
get one of the tickets.
then there's the killer, follow the team.
Yeah.
So in other ones like Qatar, 7 stadiums, we could go to all of them in 2 days. You could
Well,
do it.
everything in Qatar was within an hour of each other.
Correct.
That was one of the
Russia,
reasons they sold it, was like everything. Russia was a long way away from each
yeah,
other, and then
Russia was bad.
Brazil was a long way away.
But if you think, and this is all my listeners, I'm going to talk right to the microphone. If you think you can follow the team on this cup, you have money beyond dreams, because the distance between not only stadiums and cities,
Well,
but
what the interesting thing is, like, you think, oh, use public transport. There isn't, for example, a train that runs between Mexico and the USA.
no, oh, well,
You,
no.
so
Well, that's a
it's
different
figured out.
country. So we should talk. That's a different country. This is the first time this has ever happened too, is 3 host countries. The next one will have 3 host countries or 2. But this one, 3 host countries that there's no easy crossing for anything you want to do
Yeah,
except Toronto, probably Toronto, right? Or Vancouver to Seattle has a train.
right.
So you can do that for Vancouver, Seattle. And they said that's one of the easiest ones to fly into. So if you're going to see a game and you get lucky, Seattle, SeaTac, they have a train that runs right to downtown and stops like 2 blocks from the stadium. You could fly in and do all that. Now, the price of flights has skyrocketed around these games too, all of a sudden. So you're going to have to go somewhere early or stay late and miss the next game. So if you're doing follow the team, you might as well chalk it up. It's just not going to happen.
And the other thing is, a lot of people have no idea how large the USA is.
There's
They look at it in a map, in an atlas, and they go, oh, it's on one page. Oh, Britain fits on one page. They're the same size. They forget to look at the scale. And
so what they
you can drive across Britain in one day. You cannot
they
drive
said
across the USA in one
it
day.
was, yeah, if you took Texas, California, and one other state, it would be the 17th largest nation in the world, just
Yeah,
those 3 states.
yeah.
But you can fit all of the United Kingdom into,
Pretty much into New England almost.
but Texas 3 times. It fits in Texas 3 times.
I
I
don't
just
think
saw a
it's as
guy
many
talking
as
about it.
that. I don't think it's that. No.
It's huge. It's that
It
big.
is, yeah. But that, so people think like, oh, I'll just drive between these games. It's like, yeah, but you're not going to do like a 1-hour drive. These games will be 3-4 day drive.
Kansas City to Dallas. So 2 stadiums. I know this one. Kansas City to Dallas is almost 11 hours
Yeah.
driving.
Well, Boston to Chicago is 18 hours.
There you go.
Yeah.
So for people looking for reference points, you can go to Atlanta to, you can drive to Miami in like 8 or 9 hours, but still that the idea between those stadiums is huge and costly. And we do not have train lines anymore that go between those cities. You'd have to go up from Atlanta, change, and come back down. There's no, train lines that connect all those.
Yeah.
California, though, LA, San Francisco, you can do those. You can do Seattle and Vancouver. Dallas and Houston, those are a couple hours, right? You're talking hours. That one you could do. But past that, no, you're not getting between cities very easily. But now New York, tell the people about New York, New Jersey. It's actually
the tri-state area.
Yeah, it's actually in New Jersey, the stadium though,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It was it Sun Life. So it's just
Yep.
over the Hudson River in
And then
New
there's
Jersey.
the Philadelphia, and
Yep.
there's Boston.
Yeah.
But Boston is not an easy commute for them.
And actually, for a lot of people don't know, Foxborough Stadium, which is Gillette Stadium in Boston, is not in Boston.
No.
It's a good
30
45
minutes.
hour drive outside Boston. And then with traffic on a game day, you're talking, hours. So for me in New Hampshire, to drive to Foxborough would be like a 4-hour drive.
Is there a train?
There's a train that you can get from the middle of Boston that goes to Gillette Stadium during game times.
And it's called Boston Stadium now for the FIFA. It's not called Gillette.
And there is a train you can get from Boston to Gillette Stadium.
I told you that. So that's one of the naming things they made them do is because they're not getting the revenue from these companies that paid billions of dollars to millions to have their name on the stadium. They're not allowed to call them, like I said, Gillette, ATT, SoFi. All those companies for this cup do not exist as a name.
Yeah.
And they're calling it the city.
Do we know if the sponsor is Budweiser yet?
So interesting because I'm in St. Louis, so we should give them this backstory. Is Budweiser has always been a sponsor of the games. They had a little bit of trouble in Brazil first, remember?
Oh, okay.
So in Brazil, they said, well, we have the anti-drinking during games thing, and Budweiser said, well, then we're not going to sponsor. And they said, we'll make they made a special Bud law, just for the games that they could have them back inside the stadiums. Then Qatar, that was very, very dry.
Yeah.
Of course, as we expect. And everyone was fine with it. It wasn't a big deal. Yeah. We drank heck of sodas. I should point out, this is the game from Natal, this cup. This is a Natal. This is one of our cups.
Where you almost got arrested by the police?
Did not almost get arrested by the police. That was not me. That was you. That was not me at any of those games at all.
Is that where you came home with the parasite, you believe?
Mm-hmm.
You came back with an extra passenger?
I'm sure because you actually were sick the whole flight home. I came home with a parasite, but you died on the plane.
Yeah, I managed to get mine out of my body straight away. Yeah.
Oh, we'll tell that in another episode, a story of the past. So
anyway, part of the discussion that we have been having is like, should we just boycott FIFA for live games and just go to some of these towns and countries during the World Cup?
I said I said we should go all in if it gets to it for one game. Go all in. And just get a hospitality ticket, and that's going to blow our budget anyway.
I'm going to be like, no, because they're going to just put us a tent in a parking lot. And here's some hot dogs and soda. You're allowed one hot dog each for $1,500.
One hot dog and a Sprite. No,
it'll be like that. Was that fire thing? It'll be like that fire party or whatever.
He just had another one a couple weeks ago, right? Phoenix. He just had a fire festival too. He just had Phoenix.
Did he pick Phoenix because it rose from the ashes of fire?
Exactly. He had it on an island down. Well, that's a whole different topic we could talk about.
I'm reluctant to pay $1,500 for a ticket when you don't know what the hospitality actually is. I mean, do you get a massage and stuff for that much money?
You get rubbed. No, they have 3 levels. They have the FIFA Pavilion, so everyone understands. The first one is FIFA Pavilion, and that is basically, like you said, a tent.
A tent in a parking lot. Yeah.
Outside, you get a little bit of cover, a little access, and you get a separate entrance. Then they have the main hospitality suites, which the price jumps dramatically. And that's where you get like some all-inclusive and everything else.
And Chris and I would like to point out at this moment here, we're happy to be bribed by corporations and attend their hospitality.
I will wear your shirt.
Yeah.
Not only in episodes, but while we're there, I will wear your shirt. I don't wear a country shirt. I will wear your company shirt.
We're happy to put taglines on anything, Yeah.
As the 5th World Cup, we've learned that advertising is everything, and we will definitely wear your shirt, bandanas, hats.
So, and then there was another potential thing that could stop us going to the World Cup, which we've discussed at previous World Cups, and people have told us we should do it.
Yeah.
And Chris has been all over getting this done ever since, because I think you were delegated to do the application, which is the Amazing Race.
We'd love to do that. The Amazing Race for the 2 of us.
The same time as the World Cup. So what would happen is if we apply for that and we got that, what would we do?
Well, you come home for certain days if you don't remember how it really works, right? You're not gone the whole time. Did you know that?
I don't know.
Yeah, so you go and you do a bunch and then you come home for like sometimes like a week. Then you go back and do some other segments. It's not back to back
Uh,
to back all the time. So there's a couple caveats they've said in those previous shows where there's a little break in the middle, just due
but
to
they'd be the
timing.
games, and the thing is, it would be doing that before it aired, so we wouldn't be getting invited to these events yet.
Yeah, we couldn't even
Yeah,
talk about it, right? Well,
no.
you can't tell people, you can't do anything.
But would they have paid us $1 million at that point?
Yeah, if we won, I bet you we would have the money
Uh,
by then.
so maybe then we could buy a
Ooh,
ticket
or
for
do they
it.
only do it after it airs to make sure we didn't breach a
Yeah,
contract so we wouldn't
maybe.
have the money?
Don't
We're not
know.
going to blow it. We're not going to blow $1 million on a pavilion ticket. It
Plus, it's
feels
only 500,000 each, and then you got taxes. You end up with like nothing. I mean, you end up with just one ticket to a game with that
you end
much
up
money.
richer than we are now. How's
Yeah,
that? One
yeah.
ticket to the game. So let's
But
talk
you'd be
about
rich with a life's experience.
let's talk about the picture behind you, not because it was generated, but to give people an idea. To find a ticket that was at the original $65 rate, Carl, point up over your shoulder. There's one seat, maybe
Actually, it's
right.
probably there behind the pillar.
No, that's in midfield. It's way up in the corner,
Well,
way back
interesting
there.
enough, though, do you remember previous World Cups when we had category C's, B's, and A's,
Yes.
and we would typically end up only ever getting category C? We'd end up with category B's or A's. Yet
Mhm.
we were sat next to people that had category C tickets, and we were just like, "How is this working?"
So okay, let's back up. Let's make this another segment for everybody. Pricing before we've talked about the pricing already on this one for the U.S. the World Cup for Canada and us and Mexico. But previously we would sit next to a host country person and they would pay no more than 50. I think we saw 25,
Yeah,
$30 that they would pay for. Ooh, I got a funny story in a minute. 25, $30. Then we would pay 150. There's no secrets here. No one was FIFA controls the pricing. So it's
yep.
not like we were talking about scalpers. We paid $150 on some of these. They paid 30. That doesn't exist in America. You are going all in. They didn't give the host country, not even in Mexico, are they getting a discount
The
break.
difference in Mexico though is Mexico doesn't have dynamic pricing because it's illegal in Mexico.
Yeah.
So
So
so they're getting list price tickets,
but they're getting jacked up list price tickets. You're not getting a host
but
local.
they're getting $60 tickets and stuff. But yeah,
Yeah, but you're not going to get, there's a few, but not
no,
the volume we saw before for local. And before, locals could get all those tickets anywhere they sat in what the top two categories are. When I say top two, I mean higher levels in the stadium,
yep.
not the number wise. But we would sit next to people, to your point, and we would pay the higher rate. Now everybody's paying this high rate that's there. So here's a good one. A guy bought his tickets. He just posted it, bought the group stage, got his tickets, only paid like a couple $100, very happy with it, to find out that the teams that are playing right now over in one of the cups,
Oh,
and he could have got a ticket over there for
F1.
$25.
Yeah, yeah.
So he's like, wait a minute. It's right now I can watch those two teams play in a cup game for $25, but the ticket I bought for them was like 200 something dollars for the same two teams to play each other in the group stages again.
Yeah.
And that gives everybody an idea of how much they've jacked the prices this year. We've never seen levels like this at all on some of these ticket prices.
It's interesting. I think there's a paper in the UK called it the 1% World Cup. It's a
Because
World Cup for
1% could go.
1%ers. No, because it's World Cup for 1%ers based upon the price.
Yeah.
But I mean,
It's
admittedly, it was 16 years ago, 15 years ago when we went to South Africa, and my
mhm.
ticket for the final for that I think was $800.
And you're paying more than that just to see a group stage right now in some
That's
places.
right, yeah, and that's what seems a little ridiculous.
That's incredible. Oh, and so another piece is I wonder if they're going to change the food and stuff inside these stadiums because our stadiums are built around food.
Independent, yeah,
And we went to previous ones and it was always the same meal everywhere we
yeah,
went.
yeah, mashed
To be
potatoes and gravy, yeah,
some form of hot dog,
a
a
dried
couple pies,
sandwich.
a dry, yeah.
But I mean, the other thing as well is previous World Cups, often when the group stages are over, a lot of teams will get knocked out, and a lot of tickets become available then because people are like, well, I don't want to, because some people don't want to go and see any other team. They only want to see their team. So we've actually often picked up tickets at
Mm.
that stage that have become available. And actually, in Qatar, we did that. We went to a couple of extra games by
Yep.
doing that. And, you know, again, FIFA with their bait and switch thing, one of the things they said about FIFA, Qatar was like, hey, you can go to 2 games in a day because the stadiums are less than an hour away.
And they had transports.
But their website wouldn't actually let you buy tickets for 2 games on the same day.
So we'd have a game at 6 o'clock and 8:30. They had buses that went between the
Yep.
stadiums. You could get on, but unless you went behind the scenes and you couldn't go online and buy the tickets,
Right.
which was the craziest thing. But we saw people going to both games.
Yeah. So I think they were just
And
buying from scalpers and stuff. I don't
well,
know.
yeah, I don't know how they were pulling that off because if we go back to Russia, remember Russia, your FIFA badge had to match your ticket,
Yeah.
which had to match the security thing. And your FIFA badge was your
And Qatar was
visa.
like that as well with the phone app. It was all tied to you, and if you transferred it to somebody else, it got tied to their ID. Yeah,
Yep.
and yeah, in Russia, obviously your ID was your visa, and the same thing actually for Qatar. Um,
So that's an interesting bit is how they're doing it this year.
yeah,
Everyone's a little nervous,
yeah.
and the visas are going to be tightly controlled.
5 years
And
of social media.
they've been very clear that you get that whatever it is, usually a week after the games end to depart and get out.
I know there's a lot of people that are not coming to the US anymore. They don't want to come here because of
Yeah.
the current administration.
But they're going to Canada.
Yeah,
They're going to
Canada's great.
Mexico.
Yeah,
I'd love to go to Mexico City. So if anyone loves us and wants to send us to Mexico City, that would be fantastic because I want to see a game there. But that opening game price is
and that
ridiculous.
that one would be an even higher altitude than Rustenburg in South Africa.
I remember Rustenburg for you. That was one of our first games we ever did together. Rustenburg, South Africa, and we
I think
turn
we were
around.
second row from the back. And
He's
we're
at
kind of
tiny
like,
seats.
man, is everybody else out of breath? It turned out we were like 5,000 feet or something.
Yeah, you're breathing. I turn around. He's breathing heavy. I said, "Really? Already? It's our first game." He's like, "There's no air up here. There's no air." So
But,
I've got the map of the. I sent it to you too, but the guy that was showing us pricings on some of the tickets, if you remember. Let me click media in our things. I sent it to you while we were out and about. Here they are.
yep.
And it was maps of the games. So for an example, this was the day of once they announced the stages, United States, Paraguay, June 12th. In what they say SoFi Stadium on here. Now, this is a resale site, you can tell, but SoFi Stadium, a Category 1 ticket, the lowest price of Category 1 was $3,300 on here. The highest price on this map for this thing was $40,000. Now, here's something everybody should understand. At this time, nobody has a ticket in their hand.
Right.
You may have secured something, but they've not been digitally delivered. So some of the sites have now, which one is it? Which of the seats?
StubHub or something, or
Not SeatGeek or not Ticketmaster, but the other one. Vivid, I think, but they're requiring you now to show proof that you've secured the ticket before they'll let you list it.
FIFA before made it really difficult to transfer tickets.
Impossible.
So I don't know how that's all going to work either.
Uh,
But yeah, I wouldn't.
So you used to have to
I wouldn't
transfer
be
it back
buying a
through the
ticket
FIFA
through a
site.
third-party website.
No, and that was a big thing people need to understand. I don't understand how that's working this year because you had to have your FIFA ID tied to the ticket for security reasons and everything else. So how are they controlling it through these third-party sites?
I don't know. And
I don't think it
And again,
exists.
FIFA's still going to get their 30% of that sale or transfer.
Somehow.
Yeah.
So what we can do, and we did this before on previous years, is we took questions from people
Yep.
and answered them on episodes. And we usually did it live while we were driving. So everyone understand we've driven at every single cup across continents and countries. We did how many? I drove so much. How many miles did we do in Russia? 2,000?
I know. I'd have to go back and look at the competition. It was
I
quite
think
a
it's
few. We drove across time zones and stuff. Yeah.
Oh, that was that morning we woke up and we thought we thought we'd overslept and we were so far north it was still daylight
It was
all day.
daylight 4 a.m. Yeah.
Yeah. No, so we've driven across all of them except for Qatar because they had such good transportation that was free. So they had the high-speed trains, the buses to the trains, the bus stops that were air conditioned with power ports and USBs. You know, it was a full setup. Now you're going to get here and you're going to park somewhere randomly and hope for the best. Like Brazil, we drove through rivers and ruts and we had a flood one time at a game. It's going to be a different.
We did drive through a field because there was an accident on the road and we were like, other people are driving through the field.
I don't know how we got away with some of that stuff we did. But so the
And there wasn't even an
transportation.
airport near it, so it
No,
wasn't
yeah,
like
we
I was
flew in the
taking a
middle, and
detour because I saw an airplane.
it was horrible. But so we'll be able to answer questions. But I think the biggest things for everyone to know is ticket prices are the most extreme they've ever been, and they're not getting any better until, like you said, maybe people get bumped
Yeah,
out. There is no easy transportation between most of the stadiums that you're going to do, right? Unless you're in a couple of cities like LA, like I said, LA, San Francisco, Seattle, and Vancouver, a few of those, and some of the East Coast. You could probably work it out. But everything else is so far apart.
yeah,
Don't think you're going to be sitting here.
you're gonna be
And
flying
then
or driving.
and then accommodations right now are just ridiculous, skyrocketing. You and I did amazing in Russia because we stayed always an hour outside of each place
Yep.
and drove in no problem. But the accommodations near the places right now, I mean, they're talking $1,000 a night for certain rooms near the stadiums in Kansas City. And that's just crazy. I could, you know what? What's a date for a game in Kansas City? Do we know?
Let's go have a look.
Because what I'm gonna do is we're gonna do this live, so everyone can see this real quick. While he pulls up the dates, I'm gonna pull up one of the hotel apps that I use, right? And I stay at these all the time.
So, Kansas City, June 20th,
June
which
20th.
is
So watch.
Ecuador versus Curacao, which does sound like a Japanese food dish, doesn't it?
And what day? June 20th.
June 20th.
So I'm gonna pick the 19th to the 21st, that weekend, right? This is a
Yep.
weekend. So it would normally be middle of summer, school's out. Everyone knows here, school would be out, middle of summer. Kansas City has a couple water theme parks, things like that. So there's some things to do in Kansas City. But because of the games, I'm going to search. And this is the Marriott app. So this is live on Marriott. The AC Hotel, downtown Kansas City, is $1,400 a night.
Okay, now wait. Now go search for July 10th, 11th, and
I'm
10th and
sorry. It's
11th,
I will. Hold on.
because that's a
The
quarterfinal.
the Fairfield Inn in Shawnee. Shawnee is across in the Kansas side. It's all one big metropolitan area. It's 10 minutes away.
And
I've stayed
Kansas
there
City
numerous
isn't
times.
in Kansas.
Yeah. But it give
It's
everybody an
on the
idea.
river. Yeah, it's next to it.
It's like a 15-minute drive. It's close. $767 a night at a Fairfield Inn, which is not the highest level of
It's a
Marriott's,
Premier Inn. Yeah.
but you
I
get
mean,
you get free
so
breakfast.
what's
Good point.
July 10th and 11th, which is a quarterfinal?
July 10th and 11th.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Looking right now. So if everyone doesn't get the idea just from that, July, I'll change it. 10th and 11th.
Yep.
Let's put, well, you probably get in the 9th or whatever. I'll put 9th to the 11th. Is the game on the 10th?
The 11th.
Game is on the 11th. I'll put the 10th to the 12th. There you go. Because you go for the weekend, right? You get in there the day before. Search. And this is a quarterfinal.
Yes.
The AC Hotel downtown is $1,900 a night. Fairfield is $927. Residence Inn $800, $750, $707 for the Overland Park. The best one is the Marriott near the airport, which everyone should understand. The airport is not near anything. Is $600 a night.
So, and then, we talked about hospitality packages. For that
Yeah.
quarterfinal game, hospitality packages for a single person start at $2,900.
Well, blow your budget. Now, I should tell everybody going the opposite direction from Kansas City, from the stadium, which is east of the city on my path going there. So I'm in St. Louis, straight highway shot. From us to Kansas City's 4 hours, 3.5, 4 hours, straight shot. $794 out at one of their shopping mall areas that usually that room's 120. I guarantee I know that room is always like $100. $794 for that weekend that you just talked about.
We'll be staying in a state park in a tent.
We'll be staying at one of our friends' houses in Kansas City that we have
That's
because
pretty
we actually
risky.
have a couple, and we will be staying.
And we have friends that have offered in New Jersey.
Houston, we're
ton of
covered.
friends offer in New Jersey. Houston, we've got places if we need to stay. Yeah, we need to work on Mexico and Canada.
Do we have any friends in Vancouver or Toronto?
Seattle.
Oh, well, that's close enough.
Toronto, we know people.
Okay,
But yeah.
so we're set. Do we have? Atlanta. We're covered in Atlanta. I got a set in Atlanta. So I think all we're left with is
Yeah, we have places to
Miami.
stay. We just don't have games.
Correct. And we haven't gotten there yet. but we have places to stay. And I think that's for the people that are coming from overseas, or the people that are trying to go see some of the games, the accommodations, you have to put that into play because it is such a huge cost this
Yeah.
year. And we never paid.
And we, you know, we've seen it every other World Cup. Airbnbs hike their prices and stuff. As I said, we've stayed. Russia, we were more than 2 hours away from the nearest stadium,
So let's
and
add
that
that.
was great because it was just like, well, we didn't really honestly know that it had even been built before we arrived because Google Maps and Google Earth didn't show anything.
So here's the
But,
thing for those, and we should put that in as a segment piece. So you're coming to the World Cup and you've got an Airbnb. We have seen this before in other countries. It's sort of, but I think it's going to be worse this time. Once they get announced of the teams moving through the stages, they will cancel your stay because they want to raise the price. So you're not locked in or
and that's,
guaranteed.
yeah, a lot of people have been screwed where they get cancelled 3 days before they arrive
Mm-hmm.
and things. And we made a
Exactly.
point of not booking Airbnbs for that reason.
Yeah, we tried to use hotels,
Yeah.
status, booking site, things that we knew we could rely on, and
I mean,
didn't do
the
that.
only place where we had to use FIFA hospitality was actually Qatar.
Yeah,
Everywhere else we booked independently through Booking.com or other websites, Priceline, whatever, and just,
correct.
you know, looking at maps and going, oh, that's a 2.5 hour, 3 hour drive, that'll be fine. And that was kind of the distance where prices went down to their regular prices. So for
Yeah.
like Russia, if we'd stayed near the games, it would have been $300-400 a night. But by staying where we did, it was like $35 a night.
So here's a good strategy. If you can fly into somewhere like St. Louis for a Kansas City game, and I know that people from some of the overseas, the countries are going to freak out when I say this, but for us, it's not a thing. But if you flew into us, it'd be so much cheaper, and you could leave by noon and be there by 4. The game's at 6, or you could leave at 10 in the morning, get lunch on the way. There's, places, a couple big cities on the way to stop at, but it's a straight shot down one highway. For us, like I said, 3.5, 4 hours. You would fly cheaper. You would stay cheaper. It would be a long drive for you if you haven't
Yeah.
done it, but the cost savings would be immense because you're also not going to get rental cars in these cities.
Well, I mean, Russia was hard enough getting a rental car. So
That we'll talk about that on another. That was a whole. We got to
actually,
get them.
recently, beginning of the year, I went down to Mississippi,
Yeah,
and I went Hertz, pre-booked the car and everything. Got there, oh, we don't have a car for you.
yeah.
And this is 11:30 at night, and you're like, "Oh, I'll come back in the morning." And there was like 10 people there that were like, "Oh yeah, we don't have a car."
So what I'm
It was a
finding,
Seinfeld episode. I was like, "Well, what's the point of making a reservation then?"
you got to hold the reservation. Everyone could
Yeah,
take it. You got to hold it. No, we have that here, and what they're finding in a lot of these places is people are not bringing back the cars.
yeah.
They're keeping them extra, and I think that's going to be a problem too for people around here. Is you're not going to be able to find rental cars and Ubers and others, and there's no public transport that really works.
Well, part of the problem we had in was it Russia? Was COVID had hit or had COVID? There
No,
was
that was
no
28.
cars there. What was there? No cars. Yeah, so it couldn't have been COVID because that was
No,
2020.
remember Russia? They had pulled out of
Oh, Hertz didn't exist in
Hertz didn't
Moscow
exist, and they
until
came
2 weeks
back and
before
put
or
like,
something. Yeah,
yeah. Then they gave us, all of a sudden you went back on. All of a sudden there was cars everywhere, and they shipped
yeah,
brand new. We had a brand new car. It had what, like 30 miles on it. Like it was nothing. It was a
yeah.
brand new car, and they
That's what it
opened
was.
up.
Yeah, Hertz had stopped doing business in Moscow, and then it was just a few weeks before we went. All of a sudden, it opened up again, and the price for a rental went from $2,800 down to like 700 or something.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
I still
flooded the
charged
market.
Chris as if it was $2,800, but yeah.
Yeah, I realized that later. Don't worry. I got him back.
All
I
right,
got,
so we'll wrap this one up,
we
and
will
we'll do
take
another
suggestions.
one. And
Yeah.
you may never want to hear from us again, which is totally fine. But just rest assured, we don't have any tickets either, and there is no trick magic bullet to saying, oh, if you fill in the form this way, you're going to get a ticket. It really is supposedly random. I think you could probably get tickets if you were to offer
I'm not buying it.
a gold trophy to somebody and tell them they're the greatest and the best, the most fantastic.
Yeah.
They can probably set you up some tickets. But
I'm not buying
yeah.
that it's totally random just based upon the selection process.
I struggle to believe it's random because this is our 5th World Cup and we have never randomly been picked to get tickets.
Correct.
It's always been at this final stage where we somehow managed to get one or two. Never the ones that we asked for.
No.
But
And that was interesting this time, picking the ones. We didn't just, yeah, we
we've
had to
done well,
pick
that's
the,
happened before,
yeah.
but we've never ended up getting the ones we picked. So
And what'll happen is we'll get through this third stage and both of us will get every game we wanted. Now we'll have an overflow of tickets and we'll be hitting the open market.
that's right. We're going to be getting our 30% commissions to
We'll be
FIFA and doubling
reselling.
the prices. Which I should tell you a story about that with Taskmaster when we finish this call. But yeah.
So we have a Facebook page that we update 2 Men in World Cup. We have a YouTube channel.
But yeah, and we did have a website, but I just looked at it and it's totally gone back to a default WordPress site or something. So something somewhere screwed up on the Worldcup.com website. But if you search for World Cup spelt with two V's, VVorldcup, that's where you'll find this on Facebook, and it'll appear on Twitter or whatever it's called.
2 Men in a World Cup on Facebook. Yeah, 2 Men in a World Cup there. YouTube. So we'll put the videos up. We'll put our TikToks up, and we'll start doing clips out of this on there. But if you have questions, follow us there and put us, put some questions in. We love doing the questions last time we were traveling, but because of the way this cup's looking, we'll probably be doing a lot more like this, and then we'll get together and do some live ones.
Sounds good to me. Thank you, everybody. We'll chat with you soon.
Hopefully from inside a stadium.
That's related to the World Cup.
Yes.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you. We'll be at a watch party soon. That's where we're going to be. Damn watch party. Pretending like we're there with a virtual background on AI.
Look, I can put a tent in my backyard and I can tell you it's a hospitality tent and charge you $1,500 and you'll be perfectly happy. I can put it on the big screen on the side of the hangar. All right. Oh, and then, the thing we didn't talk about, which we should, they're going to be having water breaks in the middle of games.
We'll save that
3-minute longs.
Stupid.
22 minutes in, which means guaranteed opportunity for advertisers.
And the other one they got, the first time ever, halftime show at the final game.
Yeah, and I think there's rumor they might lengthen the halftime to fit it in. Which
they said that. They're going to make like a half-hour halftime show.
They're forgetting that it's about football.
No, it's not that dollar.
Who do you think it will be?
Oh, they've already said it's the one guy is from not Nickelback, the other guy. What group is it? He's the one doing the entertainment selection.
Coldplay?
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway. All right. Well, we will definitely wrap it up now.
Okay.
All right. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone. Save these clips at the end.